Picture yourself at a party. Someone asks, "Ever been in a painful relationship?" Suddenly, hands go up everywhere. Painful relationships are far more common than we admit. Nearly half of adults will experience at least one. We crave love and belonging, yet often find ourselves stuck in patterns of pain. Why do we cling to relationships that hurt us? This is more than a statistic. It's a question at the heart of being human. Today, we'll uncover the hidden truths behind why we stay in painful relationships. Painful relationships leave deep scars, anxiety, depression, and a loss of self-worth. The damage doesn't stop with individuals. It ripples through families, friendships, and even workplaces. Children raised in conflict often carry those wounds into adulthood. Friends and colleagues feel the strain too as negativity spreads. The cost is immense, touching every aspect of our lives. Recognizing this impact is the first step toward breaking the cycle. We often hear, "They're just afraid to be alone," but the truth is more complex. To understand why we stay, we must look deeper, at attachment styles, past traumas, and the illusion of hope. These invisible forces shape our choices in love. It's not about blame, but about understanding what keeps us tethered to pain. Only then can we begin to heal. The fear of being alone is primal. We're wired for connection, so solitude can feel terrifying. Many endure unhealthy relationships rather than face an empty home. Society bombards us with images equating singlehood with failure, fueling our fear. The pressure to conform can push us back into the arms of those who hurt us. But solitude isn't emptiness, it's a chance to rediscover ourselves. Facing this fear is essential for breaking free. Emotional dependence keeps many trapped in painful relationships. Relying on a partner for validation and self-worth leads to sacrificing our own needs. This often stems from low self-esteem or a fear of abandonment. Breaking free means reclaiming your identity and learning to find worth within. True love empowers, it doesn't enslave. Society teaches us that romantic love is the ultimate goal. The pressure to be coupled up can be overwhelming, especially for women. Cultural and religious beliefs may discourage leaving, even in harmful situations. Many stay to avoid judgment or stigma, sacrificing happiness for appearances. Real freedom comes from defining happiness on your own terms. Hope can keep us stuck, convincing us our partner will change. We rationalize red flags and ignore our intuition, fearing the unknown. This cycle of denial is hard to break. True love shouldn't mean endless sacrifice or accepting hurtful behavior. Sometimes letting go is the most loving choice. Our childhood shapes how we love. Psychologists call these patterns attachment styles. Anxious attachment craves closeness but fears rejection, often leading to unhealthy bonds. Avoidant attachment shies away from intimacy, making commitment difficult. Recognizing your attachment style helps explain your relationship choices. Awareness is the first step to breaking unhealthy patterns. Your past shapes you, but it doesn't have to define your future. Trauma bonding is when we form strong attachments to those who hurt us. Cycles of abuse mixed with kindness create a powerful, confusing bond. Victims often blame themselves and feel responsible for their abuser's well-being. Breaking free requires support, self-compassion, and a commitment to healing. Love should never cost your dignity or safety. We cling to the belief we can fix our partners if we just try hard enough. This illusion of control keeps us stuck, investing more in relationships that don't serve us. True change must come from within the other person. We can't force someone to change, but we can choose to heal ourselves. Letting go of control opens the door to healthier love. The sunk cost fallacy makes us stay because of all we've invested: time, energy, memories. We fear leaving means all that effort was wasted. But staying in unhappiness only deepens the loss. Every experience teaches us something valuable. The past is gone. Make choices that serve you now. When we're deeply invested in a relationship, it's honestly so easy to fall into this distorted perception of reality. We might overlook red flags, downplay hurtful behavior, or even rationalize our partner's actions, just to keep up the illusion of a loving and fulfilling relationship. This tendency to see our partners and the relationship itself through rose-colored glasses can really stop us from facing the truth and making choices that are actually in our best interests. This kind of distorted perception is, more often than not, fueled by a mix of love, hope, and, that deep-seated fear of being alone. Sometimes we convince ourselves that our partners aren't as bad as they seem, or that they'll eventually change, or maybe even that their hurtful actions are somehow our fault, or just due to outside circumstances. This kind of self-deception is powerful. It can totally blind us to what's really going on and keep us from taking the steps we need to protect ourselves. Breaking free from this distorted reality takes a lot of honesty, some real self-awareness, and a willingness to face some uncomfortable truths. It means reaching out for support from trusted friends, family, or maybe even a therapist. People who can give us that objective perspective and help us see things more clearly. And it's also about learning to trust our own intuition and recognizing that our feelings are valid, even if they don't match up with the story we've been telling ourselves. The journey out of a painful relationship often begins quietly, a subtle whisper that something isn't right. It's rarely a dramatic epiphany, but a gradual dawning, as small moments of discontent add up. Maybe it's the way your partner dismisses your feelings, or the constant criticism disguised as jokes, slowly chipping away at your self-esteem. These tiny cracks in the foundation grow until you can't ignore them anymore. The moment of awakening is painful, but it's also the first step toward reclaiming yourself and building a life that's truly yours. Amidst the pain and confusion of recognizing unhealthy patterns, a glimmer of hope emerges. It's a faint flicker at first, a whisper that life could be different, that we deserve more than crumbs of affection. Sometimes it comes from a supportive friend or a therapist who helps us see clearly, or in a quiet moment of reflection when we glimpse a brighter future. This glimmer, however fragile, is a powerful motivator, a beacon in the darkness. It reminds us we are worthy of happiness and have the strength to create a life we truly desire. Choosing oneself in the context of a painful relationship is an act of radical self-love and compassion. It's a declaration that our well-being matters, that our needs are important, and that we deserve to be in a relationship where we are valued, respected, and cherished, not controlled, manipulated, or abused. This decision requires immense courage because it often means going against the grain, challenging societal expectations, and facing our deepest fears of loneliness, rejection, and the unknown. Choosing oneself might mean setting firm boundaries with a partner who has consistently overstepped them, even if it leads to conflict or resistance. It could involve seeking professional help to address our own emotional wounds and develop healthier patterns of relating to others. Or it might mean making the difficult decision to walk away from a relationship that is no longer serving us, even if it means facing temporary pain and uncertainty. The courage to choose oneself is not about selfishness or a lack of love for our partners. It's about recognizing that we cannot pour from an empty cup, that we cannot give our partners what we ourselves are lacking. It's about understanding that true love requires a foundation of self-respect, a willingness to prioritize our own well-being, and a commitment to creating a life that is authentically our own. For many trapped in painful relationships, their own voice, their needs, desires, and boundaries have been silenced, suppressed, or ignored for so long that they have forgotten the empowering sound of their own truth. Reclaiming one's voice is a gradual process, a journey of rediscovering who we are at our core, what we value, and what we will no longer tolerate. It's about learning to speak up for ourselves, even when our voice trembles, even when we fear judgment or rejection. This process often begins with small acts of self-assertion, expressing a preference, setting a boundary, saying no without guilt or apology. It might involve seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or therapists who can provide a safe and non-judgmental space to explore our feelings and practice asserting our needs. As we begin to reclaim our voices, we may encounter resistance from those who are accustomed to our silence, those who benefit from our willingness to shrink ourselves to accommodate their needs. However, it's essential to remember that our voices matter, our needs are valid, and our feelings are worth expressing. Reclaiming our voices is not about attacking our partners or blaming them for our unhappiness. It's about taking ownership of our experiences, communicating our needs clearly and respectfully, and creating space for authentic connection and intimacy in our relationships. The process of extricating ourselves from a painful relationship, while, definitely challenging, can actually be an invaluable opportunity for self-discovery and growth. As we begin to disentangle our identity from the unhealthy dynamics of the relationship, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, our values, and our aspirations. This journey of self-discovery is not always linear or comfortable. It's often messy, unpredictable, and filled with moments of doubt and uncertainty. We may find ourselves questioning our choices, grieving the loss of the relationship, and grappling with feelings of loneliness, guilt, and fear. However, it's in these moments of vulnerability and introspection that we have the greatest opportunity for growth. By allowing ourselves to feel the full spectrum of our emotions without judgment or self-criticism, we develop a deeper sense of self-compassion and resilience. We learn to embrace our imperfections, forgive ourselves for past mistakes, and approach future relationships with greater wisdom and discernment. The journey of self-discovery isn't about becoming someone different, but about rediscovering the essence of who we are beneath the layers of societal conditioning, past hurts, and limiting beliefs. It's all about embracing our authentic selves, flaws and all, and creating a life that really reflects our true values and desires. We've journeyed deep into the heart of painful relationships, exploring the hidden reasons why we stay, and the invisible forces that keep us tethered to what hurts. From the fear of solitude to the shackles of emotional dependence, from the weight of societal expectations to the seductive illusions of control and hope, we've uncovered the complex interplay of factors that can trap us in cycles of unhappiness and dysfunction. We've explored the profound impact of early attachment styles, the insidious nature of trauma bonding, and the ways in which our past experiences can unconsciously shape our present choices in love. But perhaps the most crucial takeaway from our exploration is this: our choices have consequences. Staying in a painful relationship, while totally understandable given the complexities we've discussed, comes at a cost to our emotional well-being, our sense of self-worth, and our capacity for experiencing genuine love and connection. Ignoring red flags, minimizing hurtful behavior, and sacrificing our own needs in a futile attempt to fix our partners or salvage a broken relationship ultimately leads to greater pain and suffering in the long run. The good news is that we always have a choice. We can choose to remain stuck in the familiar patterns of dysfunction, or we can choose to break free, to embark on a journey of healing and self-discovery, and to create a life where love flourishes in an environment of safety, respect, and authenticity. At the heart of every healthy relationship, romantic or otherwise, lies a fundamental sense of self-worth. When we value ourselves, when we recognize our inherent worthiness of love and respect, we are less likely to tolerate being treated poorly, to compromise our values, or to settle for relationships that diminish us. Cultivating self-worth is an ongoing process, a journey of self-discovery and acceptance that requires us to challenge negative self-talk, embrace our imperfections, and celebrate our strengths. It's about recognizing that our worthiness is not contingent upon external validation, societal approval, or the presence of a romantic partner. It's about learning to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, flaws and all, and to extend that same compassion and understanding to others. When we operate from a place of self-worth, we set healthy boundaries, communicate our needs assertively, and attract partners who value and respect us for who we are. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel safe, valued, and cherished, not controlled, manipulated, or abused. Never underestimate the power of believing in yourself and your inherent worthiness of a love that honors and uplifts you. Ending a painful relationship, while often necessary for our well-being, can be a heart-wrenching experience. It's natural to grieve the loss of the relationship, to question our choices, and to feel uncertain about the future. But it's essential to remember that even amidst the ruins of a broken heart, hope remains. The end of a relationship, however painful, can also be a powerful catalyst for growth, transformation, and the creation of a more fulfilling and authentic life. As we heal from the wounds of the past, as we learn from our mistakes and rediscover our own strength and resilience, we open ourselves up to the possibility of something new, something better. We begin to attract partners who are more aligned with our values, who appreciate us for who we are, and who are capable of meeting our emotional needs in healthy and sustainable ways. The journey beyond the ruins of a painful relationship is not always easy, but it is a journey worth taking. It's a journey of rediscovering ourselves, of reclaiming our power, and of creating a future where love flourishes in an environment of mutual respect, authenticity, and joy. Trust in the healing power of time, embrace the lessons learned, and have faith that brighter days await you. Painful relationships thrive in silence. The shame, the guilt, the fear of judgment, these emotions can keep us trapped in cycles of dysfunction, afraid to reach out for help or to share our experiences with others. But your story matters. Your voice has the power to break the silence, to challenge the stigma surrounding unhealthy relationships, and to inspire others to seek the love and respect they deserve. By sharing your story, you not only release the burden of carrying it alone, but you also create space for others to do the same. You remind those who may be struggling in silence that they are not alone, that healing is possible, and that there is no shame in seeking help or ending a relationship that is no longer serving them. Whether you choose to share your story with a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or with a wider audience through writing, speaking, or art, know that your voice has the power to make a difference. Your vulnerability can be a source of strength, your pain a catalyst for connection, and your story a beacon of hope for others navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Our exploration of painful relationships doesn't end here. This is just the beginning of a larger conversation, a collective journey towards understanding, healing, and creating healthier, more fulfilling relationships. I encourage you to continue this conversation in the comments below. Share your thoughts, your experiences, your insights. What resonated with you? What challenges have you faced in navigating painful relationships? What advice would you give to others struggling with similar issues? By sharing our stories, by listening to and supporting one another, we create a community of empathy and understanding, a space where healing can begin and where love can flourish. For those seeking guidance and support on their journey of healing and self-discovery, I invite you to watch my next video on, say, healing from heartbreak, building self-love, or setting healthy boundaries. Together, let's create a world where love is a source of strength, not pain, and where relationships empower us to become the best versions of ourselves.